Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be telling you guys about 5 little details you might not have noticed about Grand Theft Auto Online that I think are really cool. Alright, so let's not waste any more time and let's jump straight into this. If you own a CEO office, you know that you have an assistant or a secretary that sits at the front and is on the computer. Well, have you ever wondered what that secretary or assistant is actually doing on the computer? Well, it turns out they might actually be looking for another job, which turns out you might not be treating your assistant all that well, or might not be offering enough benefits. So if you actually zoom in on the computer, you can see that a Word document is open. It says, "Dear Sirs," and at the very top, it says cover header or cover letter. And this is very common when applying for a job application or writing a resume. You always have a cover letter, cover header first. If you've never done that, you'll figure that out soon. But anyways, that's what you typically do when you're applying for a job. So it seems like our assistant isn't necessarily cut out for this life. She or he, depending on which one you have, always says the weirdest things. And I wish there was a way in which you could either get them to shut up or not say anything at all, because sometimes they're just obnoxious. I just want to be at peace and quiet in my office. You're always calling me boss when I walk by and bragging about your 2 degrees. So that's something you might not know about the assistant is at the end of the day, they're looking for another job. All right, something I've never noticed that's actually awesome is actually a piece of gear that you can get from the ammunition store. So if you go to the ammunition store, you go to that center little, area of stuff, you can actually get the LCD earpiece. Now, by itself, it actually looks pretty cool. This is added in the Heist update. However, when you have that earpiece on and you have your microphone on in online, if you start talking, that earpiece will actually start glowing whenever your mouth moves and whenever you actually talk. That is so cool. Now, there's more than just a cosmetic change and a cosmetic effect. If you're actually wearing that earpiece and someone calls you, you won't actually have to, go into the call animation. So one thing I do think is missing from Grand Theft Auto Online is when we're using the phone or when someone calls us, we actually pick up the phone or we have it in front of our face like we're doing something. You see that in single player, but you don't see that in online. However, while wearing this earpiece, it won't require you to be in this standstill animation or motion when you answer your call. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but when LJT calls you, you can't start sprinting or pull out your gun. However, when you're wearing this earpiece, you can. Phone calls will not affect the actions that your characters can do. They can pull out their gun, they can, do anything you want like the phone call was never happening, but it is. I guess that's sort of a function of wearing that Bluetooth headset is it's hands-free. So you can do a whole lot of things that you can't do if you were holding a phone. So I thought that was so cool, and I'd never noticed that before and online, and it really makes me want to wear this all the time now because the phone calls are annoying, but the ones you actually have to listen to, it'll be nice to be able to do other stuff while that phone call is going on. Okay, moving on, the next thing I didn't know that was actually kind of cool, and we've had the ability to be CEOs and VIPs and bodyguards and associates for a long time now. However, one thing I never knew is you can actually open the door for your CEO. So if you are an associate or a bodyguard for the CEO and you have one of the CEO vehicles out, if you hold down Y, I think it's F on PC, triangle on PS4, you'll actually open the door for the CEO. So just like a limousine driver or a chauffeur, before you're about to get in the vehicle, they would open the door for you. It's just kind of like a thing they do. You can do the same thing for your CEO and online, which is just mind-boggling to me. I never knew you had the ability to do that. I actually figured that out today with my friend Fetty. We were trying to do something else with the vehicle, and I kept opening his car door, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? And then we put 2 and 2 together. I was his associate, and I could open up doors for him like he was getting in a vehicle. And I just thought that was so cool. And it also kind of makes the role play aspect for online a little bit different now. You can sort of role play as that guy actually being the CEO, you being the chauffeur. It's just really cool. I never knew you could do that on online. All right, moving on to something pretty cool you can do with a few weapons in game. With your explosives, did you know that you can actually put them in your hands and you can actually beat people up with them? So this doesn't work for every single handheld explosive or throwable. So like the smoke grenades and the Molotov cocktails, it won't actually work. But the 3 it will work are the proximity mines, the sticky bombs, and the grenades. If you have those in your hand, but you don't actually throw them, you can actually beat people up with them, which looks hysterical. It doesn't actually do anything for you. In fact, it really limits your range, but it's one of the funniest things ever, just smacking people around in the face with C4s or grenades and not actually throwing them, which is kind of cool. But if you do make contact with someone, they are lethal. It will kill other players and other NPCs, which is kind of cool. I never knew you could actually do that, mainly because when I'm using a sticky bomb or an RPG, you can just throw them. However, the danger is if someone does shoot the sticky bomb or the RPG in your hand, you will blow up. So you kind of have to be careful about that if you're deciding to use it as a melee weapon. And the final thing I never knew about, I knew there were buses in Grand Theft Auto Online, but there's actually a bus at the airport. Now, if you decide to get in this bus and just sit as a passenger, eventually the driver of the bus will get so impatient that he will literally kick you out. Like, what the heck? You're just a passenger on a bus at the airport. What's wrong with that? But apparently if you sit on that bus for too long, your lazy butt is getting kicked out by the driver of the bus. So I always thought that that was pretty cool and pretty unique, and it's a nice little feature that I never knew about in online. But anyways, that right there is 5 little details you might not have known about Grand Theft Auto Online. As always, in the comments down below, let me know if you'd like to see any more videos like this, or if you have any small details you think that would be cool for a future video, let us know in the comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. We like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.